Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Clark TV. Again, we have here Mr. Clark of the Clark Academy. And today we're going to talk about something that does affect soccer players, but it's really not focused on soccer too much. We want to talk about the coronavirus pandemic and how it has been affecting us on a micro as well as a macro level. Welcome, Mr. Clark, to the program today.
Thank you very much.
Awesome job. We want to start off with the first question. How have you been doing since the pandemic started?
For my personal way of doing, it's kind of okay because I'm fully informed and understand my direction and the things that I need to be doing and done in order to have a clearer and a more consistent understanding of what is taking place in the world today, in my surrounding and the country at large.
Great. What are you doing to safeguard yourself, your family, as well as your soccer players from the virus?
Well, I practice the protocol that the scientists then put out from early days, like the sanitizing, the temperature, nobody come chatting on my face, and all these things, because from normally I don't really talk up in a man's face and nobody not really. So those are some of the practices that I put in place to ensure that I kind of balance myself with my understanding of what is going on.
Awesome. How about your soccer players? What are you doing to ensure that the children stay safe?
Well, you know, the children, them especially, you have all kind of issues in terms of dealing with them. But I still initiate some of the protocols in terms of, if you can check back one of my videos, where I mentioned the COVID in the principles and things that we need to do with the COVID as mentioned. I sanitize them hands, ensure them wear the mask, and you know the 6 feet is going to be difficult, it's not going to be consistent, but I keep educating them about it, right? Also the appearance as well. Although I know most of my players' parents have a wide understanding of what is taking place, because at times there's a reluctance in terms of sending them to the training, so they're really aware of what is going on.
Indeed. All right, tell us your thoughts on the vaccine so far. There are different kinds of vaccines for the virus. What are your thoughts?
All right, I recognize that in America you have Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, and Moderna. Those are the three vaccines that America normally they implement and they have in their production. I learned also that the AstraZeneca is from England, and that's a vaccine that the much older person in my age group and other they feature for them to have that as well. But it's there.
What do you think about the vaccine in general is what I'm asking.
How safe it is?
Its safety and people's
all right, what my take is that, from my understanding and research that I'm doing so far, is that more people is dying at this point in time not taking the vaccine than people that is taking the vaccine, because you can look in the football stadiums, 70 and 80,000 people start be at a match at the games, right? You can look around for yourself, do your own research and understand what is taking place.
You're talking about the English Premier League.
Yeah, the Premier League this morning I watched Man City game and about 70, 80,000 people, and I see no one in mass. And I trust all those people are 98 or 99% of them is fully vaccinated.
Okay. Therefore, what is your advice for people who believe the coronavirus pandemic is a hoax?
In this day and age, you know, information and wrong information and ignorance and all these things have their platform in the world today, right? People think and do all they want to do their own thing of understanding what is taking place and create their own understanding still. But the best thing I can tell anyone is to learn from the scientists, because they are the ones that are doing the best job right now for us to understand what is going on. Even though there is not sufficient or enough information for us all to really have a definitive direction in taking the vaccine. But I think sufficient information is there for all.
Great. Yes, welcome back. We're continuing our discussion on the coronavirus pandemic and how it is affecting our population, not just locally but globally. That leads us to the next question. Do you think adequate information about the coronavirus is being disseminated to sensitize the population of how to safeguard themselves and their loved ones from contracting the virus?
I think information is never sufficient, despite all the technology that we have today. But I recognize the government, they are putting in a lot of measures in terms of trying to get the information to all, one and all, every corner of the country. And that's a very good sign. But I think enough information is there for enough people to use the opportunity to make their own decision and their understanding of what is taking place.
So if there is enough information out there for the public to be educated as to what is taking place with the coronavirus pandemic, why then is there a hesitancy to take the vaccine among so many members of our population?
People have a lot of hesitancy because of their variety of belief and understanding. And I can't really disagree with people in terms of their varied way of viewing things. That's okay for me. But we are in a situation at this point in time, and we don't have to compare what is taking place in the past with other vaccines. We have to look and try to understand what is taking place now. See if your hesitancy, if it is the right thing you're doing, or if you're in the right direction of doing what you're doing.
Okay. So based on that then, what can be done to minimize or eradicate superstitious beliefs concerning the coronavirus vaccine?
Well, Jamaican people have this tendency of trying to put superstition to everything, right? Because if you notice now with the youngsters, them in their music are mostly Obi and Lehman, their main attraction is. So it takes them nothing to really look at superstition and all of the things that they're saying and doing in terms of not coming clear with what is taking place. The reality is that there's a situation in the world today. I think it's now near 2 years. It's about near 2 years now since this pandemic and this situation is taking place in the world at large, right? People need to understand clearly what is taking place, because right now you start to have people that drop like flies. If you look at the hospital, 99 or 100% of our hospital is crowded and full of people pertaining to have to do with COVID. Even this morning I learned that one of our politician wife passed from not taking her vaccine and she contracted the COVID. And knowing that we have a new variant of the Delta variant that is taking place, and they say it is more contagious, and people, even though the government and scientists inform people of wearing their mask and all these things. I know my Jamaican people and they listen to no one. And you can see that when you're taking a taxi, you can see that in the buses, you can see it in the supermarket, you can see it in the towns. Every corner of this country, you recognize the people in terms of with mask and the principle of the COVID and Delta variant. There's a wide level of indiscipline and carelessness that is taking place.
Hence the increase in hospitalization in the past couple of days.
Because I'm going to share a story with you. I know this gentleman is one of my friends. This man, all I know, from I know this man never normally conscious of eating food and all these things. I don't like spend money. And this man mostly cheese, chicken, and snacks him feed off of, right? In some cases, me no learn of no lady name call alongside him in terms of the usual things that my male and female don't have to do. And if this man can eat so much cheese chip and eat bread and biscuit, his favorite choice of food. And I learned this man take 2 of these vaccines, and I see this man every day same way. This is one thing that is going to encourage me to move forward in accepting and dealing with this situation.
Okay. All right. We're going to pause here. Welcome back, viewers, to Clark TV. We're going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clark TV. Wrapping up our discussion on the coronavirus pandemic and how it's affecting our population, as well as the vaccine and people's response to taking the vaccine or not taking it. We want to talk about the Pfizer vaccine that is coming down to Jamaica now, that is available to the youngsters. What is your take on that, Mr. Clark?
Well, the Pfizer vaccine for the youngster, for them to go back to school, you know, that is in the parents' in remit in terms of getting their children to do the vaccine in order to go back to school. Right? These parents, just like me as a parent, I will advise the parents to be carefully understand their direction, what they're taking with their children, and understand what is going on with the vaccine, and see how well it works elsewhere for them. As well mentioned, you do your own research in terms of, because this is your children, and some people have superstitions such as people never able to can't have children no more, and if they do have no children, them have to come from space and all these things that surround it, right? So you have to just look and understand carefully, because I passed on the road earlier on and I saw a couple of the vaccination sites. I saw some whole heap of people venture in and out with their children, and for the government that is a good look, and for our understanding, it's for us to really figure and choose and understand what is going on and what is taking place.
Indeed. We want to thank you for tuning in today. See you in the next video.
Yeah, and just remember, as usual, you know, I always leave something with you in terms of to subscribe to Clark TV, share with your family and friends, and even can notify your little enemy about this channel so they can watch and learn to have a clearer understanding of what is going to take place. So take care and have an amazing day.